does that mean? An error occurred. Please try back later. I'm not interested in errors. Am I here? Testing 1, 2, 3. I think I'm here. All right. Something was weird. I have no idea what was going on. Hi everybody. It's Elena of the Witches Box for our November 2022 Witches Reading Box Q&A Live. It's been a hot minute. I feel like I've totally missed you guys, and I think what the last live that I did was 2 weeks ago, certainly the week before, I think, Thanksgiving in the United States. So I hope that all of you had a wonderful Thanksgiving, those of you who celebrate. Oh, fantastic hair day. Thank you so much, Renee. Yeah, it's a good hair day, I gotta say. I think it's like the winter weather, but also I'm not sponsored, this is not an ad, but I've been using Olaplex. I even feel like it's a huge betrayal to say that out loud because I have been an Aveda girl for decades. I love Aveda shampoo. I love Aveda like hair products. It has been my thing, but I started to use Olaplex because I had some issues. And holy cow, that Olaplex is kind of pricey, but so is Aveda. But my hair is really loving it. So thank you. Yeah, it's a good hair day. Thank you so much. Hello, Lily. Oh my gosh, Lilia. One day I'm going to hear your voice and you're going to tell me how to pronounce your name correctly. Renee, Michelle, is it Bianca or Blanca? Bianca. Emily, hello. Chava. And yeah, the Olaplex, I know. I've been using it now for, I just bought my second set of shampoo bottles. So I think 2 months-ish. And yeah, I'm loving the Olaplex. I don't love the smell. It's a little like old past due day Avon from back in the 70s. It's not a good scent at all. It's one of the things I love so much about Aveda. Aveda has really good scents. They're all very earthy, very spicy. They're not that like hyper alcoholic, not alcoholic drinker, but alcohol content perfume scent, or that, I can't believe we're talking about this now. Or you smell like super saccharine, highly sugarized, like fruit. No one should be smelling like that. No, not even children. Enough with those scents. Anyway, it's one of the things I love about Aveda. Aveda scents are beautiful. They're very earthy, very just gorgeous. Olaplex, that's the one thing I'm not into, but it's what it is. There. So it's Lila. Oh my goodness, it's Lila. Thank you, Lila. Thank you. All right. So Callum, hello. Julmar, good afternoon. You're in New York. Beautiful. Wait, you have a grandchild in New York, don't you? How's that going? Okay, hold on. Juanita's here. She's Belly Diva. Yeah. Did I miss any names? I don't think that I did. All right. Oh no, yeah, and Mimsy. Hi, Mimsy. Wait, did I see Mimsy or did I just make that up? No, Mimsy's here. Hi, Mimsy. Okay. But now I can't find Mimsy. Where is Mimsy? Have I lost my mind? I feel like someone said hello to Mimsy and then I don't see her name. I don't even know what's happening right now. I thought that I saw Mimsy, but now I can't find her. So if you're here, hi, hello, welcome. Okay. I'm a little excited. I'm a little excited because I have not been here and hung out with all of you in a hot minute. The day before I left, so the 19th of, oh my God, of November, we had our very first live Ritual Coven gathering for the Moon Ritual Coven, which was lovely. So let me just swing into announcements and then we're going to get into like chat. So for those of you who were there or for those of you who missed it, the replay is now up. So you can catch that in the forum. You can also catch that in modules. My intention is actually to create a Book of Shadows page for that actual ritual so that you can have that on download as well, because it's a ritual that you can do at any point in the year. It doesn't have to be a dark waning moon in Scorpio to do that ritual. The whispering into the cauldron ritual can be done at various times for various different reasons. So I think it's good to have that. Oh, good. I'm glad that you liked it, Chava. I loved it. It was really beautiful. And it was a great send-off because after that, I got on a plane the next morning. I went away and I had a wonderful Thanksgiving. So I hope that all of you had a lovely Thanksgiving as well. Oh, Emily has missed time stamping the live videos. I know, I know. There will be, what will be the December read? Okay, so the there is no December reading box. So let's talk about things really quick. Wait, because it's easy for me to get off track when I'm super excited and I'm all over the place. The December boxes will start shipping next week. So we're on Tuesday. By next Monday, they'll start shipping. And the hint for that box is that it's, I don't even know what I called it. I gotta look. But it's a sacred bathing box. It's luxurious. It's lush. It's about me giving you yummy, lush, beautiful ways to care for your body, but also to sacralize an event that we tend to have at least once a day, a couple times a week. I don't know. You shower and bathe however often you want. But it's a great way to incorporate ritual into your life by using your bath time or your showering time to do that. So it's all the things for that. And I'm really excited about that. So that they're going to start shipping out next week. And then the other announcement is that by this weekend, all of the Moon Ritual Coven modules for the month of December will go live, including the date that we're going to do our next live ritual gathering online. And if I am not mistaken, that's on the 19th. Do not quote me on that directly, but I'm pretty sure it is. Those of you who are part of the Moon Ritual Coven, you have that link to our calendar, and it's on the calendar. It's on a Saturday. It is also going to be for the Dark Waning Moon this month because it just fell that way. I'm trying to keep them to the weekend so that more people can participate as they can. But let me look at my calendar really quick. I'm pretty sure it's not the 19th. I was wrong. I think it's the 17th. I have to look. I think it's the 17th. So make sure to look. But all of those modules will go live by this weekend. And let me think really quick. Yeah, it'll be another Dark Waning Moon ritual that we'll be doing live. So those of you who have not joined the Moon Ritual Coven and want a ritual together, go to thewitchesbox.com, check out the sales page for the Moon Ritual Coven and join us. We do all sorts of things. You do all sorts of things. You get all sorts of information on how to work with the new moon and the full moon and the dark waning moon each month. And then we do one live ritual together, and you get a pre-recorded guided meditation ritual for the other moon phase. And then you get a written out ritual a moon ritual script for the other lunar phase that you can do on your own. So there's a lot of information there. All right, that's a lot of words. I think that that's it right now for announcements. Let me see what's going on here, and then let's get into what we're here for. Yeah, Aveda. Aveda is like you're right. It's a trip to an earthy spot. Aveda is all the things. They have really, I love Aveda. So I haven't forsaken my long lover, Aveda. I use like their styling products still, but I don't use their shampoo right now, even though they brought back Sap Moss, which that's a whole story. In any case, Aveda, I'm still in love with you, but now Olaplex too. So there you go. Jewelmar says, no family here. I'm here with my dear heart for his corporate festivities, getting all dressed up in red soul shoes. Oh, look at you with your red soul shoes. I love it. How fun. Oh my God, New York for like the holidays must be so beautiful. Wonderful. Callum is about to eat dinner, so we'll catch you on the replay. Mwah. See you later. Enjoy your meal. Leela, there are 2 boxes left for this one. So we're here to talk about the November box, and we have 2 boxes left that are on sale at the website as well. And we also have 5 of the mystery herb boxes left. Those are a refresh. Those are new because I just make 1 or 2 as I go. And so we have 5 of those. And that's it. That's all I've got for that information. We are here to talk about the November 2022 Witches reading box. I am all over the place, you guys. Let me take a drink. And your girl in true fashion has not 1, but 2 drinks. I've got ice cold water, and I've got really hot vegetable broth because I am in love with vegetable broth. And Because we're talking products, Better Than Bouillon, I think is what I'm drinking. It is the best broth ever. Okay, hold on. Okay, so in your box in November, for those of you who didn't get the box, this is what people got. You got 4 books. You got 4 books. You got kind of like an oracle botanical, where we have so many botanicals in our workshop, and you got what you got. You got the herb that wanted to work with you the most this month. So everyone got something different. And what else did you get? I think you got a candle. I don't even remember what came in this box because the books are kind of it. So I'm going to show you the books one by one, and then we're going to talk a little bit about them. But I also felt like we can talk about the books. We can talk about reading in general. We can talk about our reading list. I don't know. I was really happy about these books because 3 of these books are authors that we've had here in the past, and one is a new to me author, which I'm very excited about. So this is the first book that I'm pulling off my desk. So it's Visual Alchemy by Laura Tempest Zakroff. I love the consistency. Like, this is the second book that she's got designed this way. It's a square format, which I love. Beautiful color, beautiful design. I think she does the whole thing. And it's on art and sigils. I love this book because it continues the story that, I mean, it's not a story in terms of fiction, but it continues the work that she started with the Sigil Witchery book. And she incorporates magic and art and how that interplays with magic and how deeply transformational art and magic can be together. There's a lot of exercises here. She also is very generously given out, under Creative Commons licenses, a whole slew of sigils that you can all use for yourself in your work as well. I love it because it's like a part 2 for me in terms of the book that she originally wrote, which was Sigil Witchery, that we sent out. I know someone here is going to know exactly when we sent it out, but we sent her for that first Sigil Witchery book out in one of our boxes a very, very, very long time ago, and we love it. It's a great book. She has a very intuitive approach to working with sigils and creating sigils that I also really love. So beautiful. And there's just so much gorgeous artwork by other people too. Can you see? In this book that I thought I wanted to, there were a couple of guiding principles for me in choosing these books. One, when I saw that these 3 authors in particular had new books coming out and we love these authors, it was like, I gotta grab them all up. So that was kind of a guiding force. But then I also like that this is a book on skill set, like advancing your skill set. Same with this book. Holy cow, you guys. This is the other book, Mastering Magic by Auryn. It's a course, literally a course on spell casting for the psychic witch. This is, I believe, his second book. He does an amazing job in both books of giving you so many tools to really hone your skill set. I mean, it's staggering, honestly. I feel like if you are still working with Psychic Witch, you can work with Psychic Witch and all of the exercises that he has in that book for the rest of your life. Same thing with this one. So both of these are skill set. I don't know. I can't pigeonhole them that way, but they feel like they work more towards giving you support and instruction on building your skill set. Yeah. This is a chunky book. I read through it, and now I think I'm going to listen to it, and I'm probably going to read through it again because there is just so much in this book. Matt Auryn did a great job. Beautiful. And if I'm not mistaken, forward by Sylvan Ravenwolf, but I believe, if I'm not wrong, I don't think I'm wrong, but let me double check before I speak, that, hold on. Oh, no, I'm wrong. Oh, yes. Oh, no. I thought it was the cover, but no. Laura Tempest Zakroff lent a sigil of her own to this book. So there's that. I love how our authors know each other. Then, well, let me just go into it. I'm just talking now. If you have questions or commentary on books, go ahead and throw them in there. When I stop talking, I'll look at them. Then there's this. So, we love our Danielle Dulsky. I know Jill Mar loves her too. The Holy Wild Grimoire by Danielle Dulsky. This is such a beautiful book. This is a journey. All her books to me feel like deep transformational initiatory journeys when you go through the whole thing. there is so much to work with here, and all of it is deeply transformational. I always tend to define my rituals between, or divide my rituals between spell casting rituals or working rituals, and then transformational rituals, which are also working rituals. But those are the rituals where we go through journeys, where we go through a set of tasks or a set of explorations or encounters in order to either connect with another entity, with another spirit, or to do some sort of transformational work where we go into the underworld and we shed our skin, we shed our identity, we shed our ego in order to transform. That tends to be like the two fields that I work with the most, and that tends to be the two fields that I speak to the most. I find that most, if not all, of Danielle Dulsky's work in her books tend to be of the transformational kind. And this grimoire is beautiful. It's a beautiful, I think, companion to the other 3 books that she's put out that have also been exquisite. Every single one of the books that she has written that I've read is a deeply transformative soul journey, and really beautiful. And what I have in my hand here is that I had the honor and the pleasure of receiving, I read this book 1,000 years ago at this point, it feels like, earlier this year, no, late last year, because they sent me the galley, or the uncorrected galley, of the book. So I've had this little hot thing in my hands for a while, and I wanted to talk to people about it, and I couldn't. And also this book made it with me to the very first Bookish Witch retreat that we did. I think it was in March or April of this year, because I thought I'm gonna just sit with it and read it. It's gonna be amazing. Beautiful. I love when I get these, because I save these almost mean more to me than the actual books, because it's just so special and such an honor. So I'm gonna stop talking to see what's going on in the chat box, because holy cow, I want to know things while I read through your comments. Have you read the books? What were your thoughts? And also, what are you reading now? Let's go from there. All right, let me back it up. Thank you, Emily, for putting the links. Hello, Summer. Travis says, I loved the book box. I started with the Holy Wild Grimoire, loved it, and bought the Holy Wild to read in tandem. Yeah, the Holy Wild is a great book. All of her books. That's all I'm gonna say. And her beautiful oracle deck. Just, it's exquisite work. Melanie says that sigils are my jam. They're my jam too, for sure. Juanita says, I'm so excited for this book. I have been wanting to learn how to make and work with sigils, so this came right on time. Beautiful. Then I would also recommend getting Sigil Witchery from her, for sure. Hello, Purple Pixie. Hello, Michelle. I've been following Matt on Instagram for a while now, and was happy to see that his book was included in this box. Yeah, me too. He's great. He's fantastic. We had the honor of having him join us for one of our live book coven gatherings when we had the book subscription. It was fantastic. Hold on. Oh, that's good. Okay. Emily says, I'm so excited to read Visual Alchemy and Mastering Magic. I loved Psychic Witch and Sigil Witchery. I know, me too. I know. They're really amazing authors, and it's exciting. They're doing so much right now for the witchcraft community, because they're all incredibly educational, very well detailed books that are speaking to things that haven't been spoken of necessarily a million times before. Most times, yes, you get a book on witchcraft and there's always like, oh, this is like, a chapter on magic and spells. And here's a list of a bunch of spells that you can do. Matt goes in really deep, and it's really about honing your skill set to do effective magic, which is so helpful. Really, really beautiful. Lila says, I have a sigil tattoo on my left inner forearm. That means I can get through this. I charge it with new moon water every month to remind me that I can get through whatever I want and need to. That's beautiful. What a beautiful living testimony to your magic. It's on your body. That's beautiful. Hi, Catherine. Welcome. Purple Pixie says, I was so excited to see these books. I had 3 of them on my shopping list. Oh, I'm glad. I know. I think it was you who said this before. Maybe someone said that they had the books in their cart. Juanita says, ooh, I'm currently working through Keeping Her Keys. I think Danielle's book will enhance it when I'm done. Oh, that's a whole other topic. Keeping Her Keys, we love us. We love us some Cindy Brandon. You know that I'm a fan. And there is a new book by her coming out very soon. I'm excited to say. And I've already read that one. Anyway, it's one of the best parts of this job that I get these advance copies. It is so exciting. Emily says, oh my god, I started Danielle's book first on the day I got the box. Not finished it yet, as I am reading a few things at the moment. But it's so, I'm going to say it, it's so fucking beautiful, almost channeled. It, honestly, I mean, I don't want to speak for her. I have no idea. I haven't asked her, but it absolutely feels like it's channeled. She's really bringing in beautiful work, powerful work. I just bought the book. It's in the workshop. Yeah, it's in the workshop. I have not started reading it yet, but Haggitude by Sharon Blackie, who I also love. She's done beautiful work. We've talked about here as well. The hag is a really potent aspect of the goddess, and I love that she's been coming through so strongly for years now. Oh my god, Keeping Her Keys, I know. Right? And this is the season for books. I wrote in the letter that went out in the box, right? Because I want to always include our Southern Hemisphere brethren witches, because we have people who are in Australia and New Zealand who are subscribed as well. And they're in a whole other season. They're in the, where are they right now? They're in the spring, and they're approaching summer. So it's a very different energy. It's a very different movement. It's a different mindset. And for me, reading the winter and cold weather is always so perfect for reading. But then so is summer, right? And so anyway, I'm just in my coziness right now because it's so cold outside and it's so beautiful. But I also remember that when it's summertime, I'm like, I just want to lay around in the sun and just like drink some cold tea and read all day long. So I don't know that there's really ever a perfect season for reading, even though something about being cold and cozied up is great. So that was the intention of this box. One, to give you really great authors and access to these really great books because they are so informative and so helpful, but also because reading is so magical. We have another book that I want to talk about, but hold on a second. Radiant Life, hi. Her new book is ready for pre-order. I think it's called Entering Hecate's Cave. Yes. I didn't know that it was available for pre-order, but it's coming soon. I don't actually know when. Someone can probably look that up. I was asked to write a blurb for it. I'm so excited. Oh, Emily says, yes, I have Haggitude on my list. The crone has been showing herself to me so much these past few months. Yes. Radiant Life says, I'm not crazy about Cindy Brandon or her writing, but I like to read all the books about Hecate. There you go. Juanita says, I'm excited for Cindy's new book. Jill Moore says, have you read Your Interest in Ancestral Work, Decoding Your Emotional Blueprint, a powerful guide to transformation through disentangling? Oh my god, no, I have not, but I'm not even gonna write all that down because that's a lot of words, but I'm gonna take my phone. I hope this works. And I'm gonna take a photo of what you just said because I have not heard of that book and I want that book. There we go. I am in the process of finishing up an ancestral identity e-course that we will be launching in a bit. So there's that. I know I miss the monthly book clubs. Me too. Judy Whitkins Smith, my next book. Wonderful. I'm gonna look that up. Juanita says, I have Sigil Magic in my Amazon shopping cart. Boom. Radiant Life. Okay, you're answering her. Leela says, no, this is Layla. What is Leela's last name so that I don't get everybody confused? Because it's my eyesight, you guys. No. It's my eyesight. No, this is Leela. Holy cow. Okay. I thought the I came before the L. I'm a hot mess. She says, Leela, I'm feeling the crone tapping on my shoulders the closer I get to my 50th birthday in about 2 weeks. Oh, it's a good birthday. Happy birthday before you get there. Yes, absolutely. Cho said, I had to grab a pen to write down all these books. Boom. The author was interviewed by Tammy on Sounds True. Wonderful. I'll have to check it out because that sounds like a really powerful book. So this is the other book that we have in our box. I hadn't heard of this book, and I hadn't heard of this author. I love the book. In the Spirit of Home, Leslie A. Morrison. Anything, especially during this time of the year, anything related to really setting up home space to me is always soul candy. I'm a Libra with a Virgo moon. Home means everything to me, and setting up a space that is reflective of your energy and your energy signature, but also your intentionality with how you want your home to really support you emotionally, spiritually, and physically is like a big deal for me. So I had to pick this book. There was nothing about this book that I didn't love, because every time I went through any chapter, I love that she took us from room to room to room. And every time she took us into a new room, I took a lot of time to really envision exactly what like that perfect space for me would be, even if it wasn't necessarily reflective of what I could do with the room in my life now. I say that because there was a comment that I have to say something about, that somewhere in here, I think in a couple of different places, she refers to when you're going to design your perfect room. And there was like a snarky comment about, well, it must be nice. Not all of us have money, and it's very privileged to think that people can just design their own room. And can you all calm down? Really, calm down. I feel like we are so trigger happy at this point, and we're so ready to tear things down because we're so hyper vigilant for anything that might, that could be, it's not even might be, that could be construed or twisted into something negative. We need to just let it go for a minute, even just for a minute, and take a deep breath and relax. No, of course we all can't go out right now and like whip up a newly designed custom home for ourselves. Take what you need and let go of the rest. This is a book discussing the possibilities. And so there is in this book, I think, an opportunity to really dream, to really try to re-envision the spaces that you do have, and allow yourself the expansive thought so that then you can apply what you can to the space that you do have. Let's take a breath, for the love of all things. My goodness, I love this book, and and she does talk about creating space without having money. So take a beat, man. Take a beat, because it was beautiful. It was beautiful, and for me, it was very much part of my own personal manifestation work, where I allowed myself the luxury of daydreaming and really just envisioning like each and every space that I would love it to be and what I could do with it in order to fill that space up with a magnetic. So there you go. All right. Let me look. Radiant Life says, I like the title In the Spirit of Home. Can't wait to check it out. Beautiful. Juanita says, Elena, you know my soul. I was thinking about reimagining or rearranging my apartment. Every one of these books came in the perfect moment. I'm so grateful for you. Oh, I'm so grateful that they were good for you. Good. And then Melanie says she totally talks about creating a space without money. She does. I know. But, normally I don't respond to a lot of it, but I was in a mood. I was in a mood, and I had to, because it stayed with me, and I'm like, come on, can we please? Emily says it's trigger culture. Even the word trigger is triggering. I mean, the word trigger is just being completely misused, and it more and more often than not really is starting to mean, in common culture, I was made to feel something uncomfortable. That's not being triggered. Triggered is a very different thing. Triggered is where you literally lose space and time because something has thrown you back into a trauma of your past. And there may be remnants of that when you feel uncomfortable, when you feel suddenly very reactive. Absolutely. But we cannot go through the world trying to avoid those things at every cost, because it's the bringing those things up that help us address them, to help us face them, to help desensitize ourselves to them, so that then we can address the actual trauma. We need to take a beat, people. It's one of the things, I mean, there's so many things that I'm deeply concerned about with the world, because I feel like it's just, I don't know, too much. It's all too much. But we are hurtling ourselves into a deep dysfunction around feeling discomfort, feeling grief, feeling anger, and not having enough practice so that we know what to do with those feelings when they come up. We're trying to avoid, deny, shield, and it's like when life gives you stuff, and it will, you're going to have feelings and you're not going to know how to work with them. You're not going to know how to move with them. And it's deeply, I think, very deeply damaging. I mean, I can go on about this forever, but there you go. Emily continues to say there has to be nuance, absolutely, unless it's racism or discriminatory or exclusionary or hurtful to any group of people, especially marginalized communities. Yeah, and I posted this on, I don't know, nuance. That's the key. It's the nuance, absolutely. Yeah. Juanita says, yes, you get all the steps. If something is not for you, then discard it. Give it as a gift to someone else. Absolutely. Priestess of Wonderland, hello and hugs. Yes, hello, welcome. Ooh, Kelly Ann just did the best video about toxic positivity. I'll have to check that out. I haven't been looking. I thought that when I was away over the course of the week that I would spend a lot of time like watching all of the YouTube videos that I want to watch that I haven't been able to watch, because obviously you have to like invest time to just like watch the videos, and there's so many people doing such great stuff. But instead, no, we hung out with friends and it was beautiful. I did a lot of sleeping, which was beautiful. We did a lot of eating and cooking, which was beautiful. And then we watched movies together on the couch, and I thought, oh my God, I haven't done this in a long time. It was so nice. So no YouTube videos for me. So at some point I'm going to try to set aside a Sunday or two to just kind of catch up on all these really great videos. I just discovered, Emily and Tree got a text from me, or a couple texts from me this morning, because I just discovered someone who, I don't know who she is, but apparently she's really popular and she's got these like cooking videos on YouTube. So good. Anyway, okay, let me go back. Discomfort helps us become resilient if we've worked through it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for that reading. It's true. It's true. What are we doing? And it's also, I think, common sense that if someone is writing a book on a particular topic and you feel like, well, this doesn't relate to my life, it's like, okay, well, it doesn't relate to your life, but it relates to someone's life. It relates to what the author wanted to talk about. And it's impossible to write anything ever that will include the lives of every single human on the planet and be not accessible, but applicable to their lives. We all write to a particular demographic. We all write to a particular audience. Obviously, my work in the world is with witches. That's not everybody. And so if you are not a witch, this is an example. If you're not a witch, yeah, to some degree, it's not like I'm excluding you. I invite all who are interested, but if it doesn't relate to you, it's not a commentary on your worth and value as a human being. It's just an interest that isn't yours. Like, allow for that. Allow for that. I cannot afford to get an architect to design a brand new home with my perfect layout. No. And maybe most of us on this like YouTube live can't do that either. But I got a lot out of the book. It was incredibly enjoyable, and it's not personal, for the love of all things. I can, it's exhausting. I'm so exhausted. Oh my God. Okay. Anyway, any more books? I'm going to tell you what I read over the course of the week. I read 2 books while I was gone. I was really excited about this. No, sorry, I just got scared. My husband just peeked. I hate when he does this. It's cute when he does it, but it's scary. Anyway, I have a window and my husband just peeked his face through the window to see if I was unalive, and it scared me. Sorry about that. Over the course of the week, I'm all over the place. Holy cow. Over the course of the week, I read 2 books on Lilith. So I'm going to show you what those Lilith books are. And I'm not going to talk a lot about them because after I end this, I'm going to do 2 book 2 reviews for each of these. Well, 1 for each, that then I won't be actually showing anybody until after the new year. So don't get excited. But I'm going to show you. So the first one was Lilith, Goddess of Darkness and Light by David Thompson. It's this book. Oops. And they traveled with me, so both books kind of went through the ringer. But like notes, there was a lot going on. I have a lot So this book didn't trigger me, but this book brought up a bone of contention that I seem to have with Lilith more and more and more. Not with Lilith directly, but with the conversation around Lilith, the literature around Lilith, like the writings about Lilith. So I liked this book because it made me like, it made me reach back to her and say, I'm not vibing this with you. I need answers, because every time I read about this, it just rubs me wrong. It doesn't feel accurate. What's the story? And I love that it made me turn to her to get the information. So I love that. And then the other book is Original Resistance. I've talked about this book before. Original Resistance, Reclaiming Lilith, Reclaiming Ourselves. It's by the Girl God, or A Girl God publishing house. It's an anthology. There is that. Good and bad. I loved the different perspectives in this book. It does for a little while get really, really repetitive, because a lot of the essays in here went through her origin story over and over and over again. Like in an anthology, ideally you want to really curate the essays that you collect, and work with each author to kind of not overlap so much, so that you have like a broader terrain or perspective that you're offering to your readers. So the repetitiveness got a little extra, not gonna lie, but there was still a lot of really great information, a lot of really great perspectives. The last couple of essays were also really, really, really good, but those two. So here's also what I've gotten from Lilith, because she's calling the shots. Because so many of you keep asking me about which of her books I recommend, and I had such a reaction to this book, and I'll tell you a little bit about why in a minute. And it wasn't his writing, and it wasn't his take. It is a common take, so it's not that it's specifically that book. But what I got from her was the recommendation that you read everything, even if the book isn't quote unquote good, that there is some value in reading about and experiencing the different perspectives. Some are very archaic, some are still very deeply rooted in the lens of patriarchy. And when you read those, there is, at least for me at this point in my life, a very visceral reaction that comes from a part of my body that holds deeper wisdom. So there is just so much happening there that I was surprised, but it's like, read all of it. Read the good, the bad, and the ugly. Read it. So it's not even about which one do you recommend. I feel like I had such a beautiful moment with her in this meditation, because it was like each one is a doorway to access a part of her that needs transformation, either within yourself or with her or with your relationship with her, regardless of the content. There it is. So all is well in the world of Lilith, let me tell you. And I am thrilled. And anyway, I am in love. So Emily, you haven't been hanging out with us, I think, in the last several, is that true? I feel like you haven't, because there was a period there where, because I know why, because I was doing lives on Tuesday and they were at 1 o'clock and not doing guided meditations, I think for the whole month of November. I don't think I did a guided meditation. In any case, there are these bizarro bot spammy things that have started to appear. I just report and remove and then put them in timeout, or hide user on this channel. I don't know. So you can do all the things. Let's see. What did I miss? Emily says the sleeping and time with friends is so important. Oh my God, it was so good. We really needed it, I have to say. It was really necessary. Radiant Life says, yes, I would be scared to write a book these days. So hard to please everyone. You're not supposed to please everyone. This is the key. Whenever this is just business 101, or yeah, it's a business. I mean, yeah, it's kind of business 101. especially in the day and age of social media and PR and all the things, you need to get clear. This is just good business practice. It's not even about spirituality. It's in everything you do. You need to get really clear about who you're speaking to, because if you don't, your message won't land. If I try to craft a message that pleases every single person, I'm not going to be saying a whole lot of anything. I won't. And so you have to get clear. And that's not about being exclusionary. That's about being clear, having clarity about who am I talking to and what am I speaking about? And why does what I have to say specifically speak to that demographic? And so any book, right? You write a book on mastering magic. You're going to be speaking specifically at the very minimum, most general like layer to people who are interested in magic. I don't think I have to say any more about that. Okay. Yes. Ooh, exciting. Chava says, yes, Elena, I did the same thing with Lilith. I asked her to show me who she was. So many revelations about her. She's like, right? I'm just saying. Oh, Curls and Pearls. Hi. What have you missed? I mean, you've missed a lot of chatter, but you can catch it on the replay. And we're still here talking. So we're talking about books. I was just talking about Lilith. There was something else I was going to say, but now I don't remember. But books. Yeah, just hang out. And Callum is back from his meal. Wonderful. What else are you guys reading? What's happening? Estrella Taylor's book is coming out, I think, in the new year. Very excited. I'm going to get to read that ahead of time too, which is very cool. There's a lot of good things happening. There was something that I wanted to say about Lilith. Oh, do you want me to go into this? I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to go into it because I think it's important that you have your own experience. I will go into it when I do the review on the book, and I will go into it when we start our first year and a day with Lilith coming soon. Because it's an important aspect of learning her. But here's what I'm going to say. You cannot work with Lilith without confronting the patriarchy and what the patriarchy is and the lens through which the patriarchy has us view the world. There are very big, broad, easy to identify strokes when it comes to the patriarchy, and then there are deeply nuanced and internalized ones that are harder to unravel and unthread for ourselves over time. And just for those of you who are uninitiated, the patriarchy is not just men. The patriarchy is a paradigm. It's a system of being that, yes, puts higher value and higher relevance and higher privilege and higher entitlement on men. But we all contribute to the patriarchy, whatever the gender. So working with Lilith necessarily will have you confronting that, whether or not you think that you're political, because it's not just political, it's deeply spiritual. And one of the symptoms, one of the tools of this overarching paradigm of patriarchy is compartmentalization. And what I mean by that is a really real life example in the United States, specifically because each country is a little different. In our medical system, we don't look at the whole body. We look at parts of the body. So you've got a dentist. The dentist really rarely communicates with your general practitioner doctor or your internist. They just deal with what's going on in your teeth, but oftentimes what's going on in your teeth has a lot to do with what's going on with you emotionally, has a lot to do with what's going on with you environmentally, has a lot to do with what's going on with you in digestively. But those systems aren't looked at as a whole. You are not looked at as a whole. That's an example of patriarchal compartmentalization. Things are kind of broken down and objectified in smaller bits. The whole isn't taken into account. The whole isn't assessed to see where is the actual root dis-ease in the system, right? And so I bring that up as an example because with Lilith, there's a lot of compartmentalization too. There is the goddess Lilith, and then there's the demon Lilith. And in this book in particular that I read, the magic that he does with one is a little different than the magic that he does with another. And for the purposes of just like transparency in the book, my understanding of the way David Thompson works with Lilith is more that the demon aspect is more the shadow aspect, and the goddess aspect is more not the shadow. It's the same entity. She's one, and all of those things exist in one. And also, there is the historical issue of the fact that she was relegated to demon had nothing to do with the fact that she actually is a demon. It has everything to do with she didn't play the right game, and so she had to be vilified. There's a lot that can be unpacked there, but as you read about her, you're going to come up against this information where it's the goddess Lilith and the demon Lilith. And yes, they're the same, but it's different, but it's not. It's, again, still that lens of the patriarchy. Let's compartmentalize. This is one of the reasons why we have issues with our shadow, because we have parts of ourselves that we relegate to deep, dark corners that we don't admit, that we don't look at, that are too scary. We try to keep them off of us, away from us, pretend that they don't exist, as opposed to taking our entirety as a whole. I mean, obviously, I can say so much about this forever and ever, but anyway, that's what came up. So, like that. Kim says, we must not let others' opinion keep us from doing what we are called to do for the collective. Yes, and hello. Hi, Kim. Oh, Curls and Pearls is going to start The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. Highly recommend. If you've never read that book, everybody has to read it. It's like a rite of passage. Grasshopper, hello. I'm going back to your old booktube reviews, starting for the beginning. I love those. Holy cow. Oh, Grasshopper. Those earlier ones were a little scary, I gotta say. I look back on the production value. I mean, even though we're kind of low production here in a big way, I've certainly elevated a lot, but still amateur hour. But I look back on some of those, and it was so difficult for me to not delete them all, because I was like, oh, the cringe fest. But so bless your soul. Thank you for liking them and loving them. That's very kind of you to say. Callum says, about the December box, does it work for showers? Yes. And here's what I'm going to say. Thank you for bringing that up. And actually, I'm going to talk about that in the deep dive in a minute. Yes. Because in there's a Book of Shadow page that talks about like what is the word? Not the substitution, but the workaround, the alteration, what you can do if it's a bath. And one of the things I recommend, because I talk about having like a little, like a container, a bucket, something where you can like create your bath salt water or your herbal water, so that then you can use that as a water blessing in the shower. Buying something that is a sacred tool specifically for that, like a wooden bucket or a pail of some sort. I wouldn't, if you can, try not to use something like a paint bucket, or, like try to intentionally find something for yourself that you can use that is your sacred bathing or sacred shower tool. But yes, absolutely. Purple Pixie says, I'm reading Psychic Witch, and for witchy history, I'm reading The Devil's Snare. It's about the Salem witch trials. Oh, that's supposed to be a really good book. Hold on. I haven't read that one yet. Hold on. Emily says, the patriarchy. Oh my God, this year it's come up in so many situations for me. It's up. And I think that what I find fascinating is that Lilith is coming up so much with so many witches specifically, that examination is necessary, but it's like in our face because of it too. It's just so much harder to ignore, and even on the most subtle level, it's really intense. It's intense out in these streets, let me tell you. The Art Teacher and the Oracles, love the name. I understand what you say relating to Lilith. I feel the same. Beautiful. Grasshopper says, yes, women contribute to it too. We all do. It's the water in which we swim. Women specifically have internalized the misogyny and the patriarchy in really deeply harmful ways. It's part of the healing work to extricate ourselves from that system. We're all in the system. And in that way, Lilith can be incredibly confrontive, because once you know, and then you can't pretend, and then you have to make changes. It's not comfortable. It's not comfortable. Which is where being okay with discomfort is important, and building resilience is important. It all ties together. Ditch Witch says, Ditch Witch here, finally love the new books. Oh, good. Enjoy that they are different than from what I usually choose. Oh, good. And still working Lasix books. Wonderful. Keep working Lasix books. I love it. The art teacher says, I used to have this argument when I worked in education system. The one with the, like, her with the dichotomy. Yeah, I bet. I mean, Chava says, one aspect of Lilith is the void, the dark unknowable. Yes. And there's so much there. Right. I know. I get so excited. I can't stand myself. Hold on. I want to write something down. Okay, I'm done. If you hear banging, it's because my guy is building I don't know what outside. Curls and Pearl says, I was waiting for the workbook to arrive for it. I'm excited. Been having a huge artistic block this year. Oh, the artist way? Yeah. It's great. I mean, still, the morning pages is something that many, many people talk about and still do. I still do them on occasion. It's really lovely. I don't know how to pronounce this. Zeville? Beautiful. It looks beautiful. Hi, do you have any recommendations for books about Goddess Nyx? No, I don't. Let me think. Goddess Nyx. I don't. If anybody else has a recommendation, it'd be great to have that. Because I don't. I can't think of anything. I'm sorry. Chava says, I have a sculpture of Lilith with no face, represents that we can all see ourselves through her. Yes, beautiful. Emily loves Tiffany Lasik too. I know Tiffany, amazing. Kim says, my current reads are the Oxford Illustrated History of Witchcraft and Magick. Beautiful. Also reading Piercing the Veil, examining... Oh, it skipped. Okay, so let me just say right now that I've had the heater on irresponsibly. And you can't see me, but I know that you can hear me. So I'm going to keep talking. Fear not. I will come back. Let me see who else. Okay, so if anybody has any recommendations on books on the Goddess Nyx, can you post them in the chat box? Because I don't actually. Oh, I was reading what Kim was reading. She's also reading Piercing the Veil, examining San Diego haunted history. Oh my gosh, how fun. White Witch says, yes, we all have our shadow side and light side arm. You can't have one without the other. Exactly. Compartmentalization. Yes. Juanita says, Hecate has been calling me out on my bullshit and forcing me to face the things I am uncomfortable with about myself. These goddesses do not play. No, they don't. No, I mean, they're fierce goddesses for sure. No worries, art teacher. It's all good. So like that. I'm going to give my camera like another second, and then I'm going to turn myself back on. If you hear me blowing, it's because what happens is that I crank up my heater to 80 because I am extra, and then my camera decides it's not okay. It always happens in the winter. Okay, let's see if I can come back. Oh, here we go. I'm back. Okay. Let me think about what else I need to tell you. I've already told you about the December box, and they'll start shipping next week for those of you who weren't here in the beginning. Moon Ritual modules for the whole month of December will go live this weekend. There will be another live ritual gathering that we do online next month as well. So if you're not part of the Moon Ritual Coven, please join us. It's a beautiful thing. It's growing by the day, and we're going to be doing some big magic. The next live ritual will also be the Dark Waning Moon, and I don't quite know for sure right now because I'm just fine-tuning it. There may be more cauldron work because I'm really just with the cauldron right now. And we are at the end of November, right? Today's the 30th. You have until the 15th of December to subscribe to the Witches box to ensure that you get the January box. The January box will be, I don't have the name for it yet, but it'll be a manifestation spell ritual box. So that's like the really broad strokes. It's actually a really beautiful thing, but that's all. I haven't quite given it a really cool name yet. So that's what that is. Are there any other questions? Any other, I don't know, suggestions on books? Oh, Leela says, do you have any recommendations for Norse goddesses Hel and Freya? Oh, Freya. This came up before. Emily, do you know any good books on Freya? There are several books on Freya. And I have this happened before. Were you the one who asked this? Because I can't believe I didn't look this up. I have not read any recently in a very, very long time. And the book that I'm imagining in my mind has sort of like a model, not modeled, but, or muddled. What is the right word? Brown cover with a texture. I don't even know. Yeah, I can't think of the names of the books because I haven't read about Freya in a very, very long time. But if you do a search on Amazon to see what comes up, and do a search on llewellyn.com. The good thing about, here's what I normally do. Like if it's a book, like I want books on, I did this with Lilith. I want all the books on Lilith, right? I did a search on Amazon. I did a search on the publisher sites that I know, like Llewellyn and Wiser, Red Wheel, Wiser, New Moon Books, like those kind of big ones. And then when I had a long list, and Amazon was probably the most helpful in terms of coming up with like a very lengthy, extensive list of books, then it's kind of an arduous process. I like the reviews of books on Goodreads more than I like the reviews on books on Amazon. So I would take the books that I really wanted to read and I go check out the reviews over on Goodreads just to see like which one was calling to me the most, and I would go that way. When I don't have recommended, Troy Books, thank you, is also a great publishing house who I think is now owned by Llewellyn as well, but I think that they're separate imprints. So go that route if you don't get a recommendation. The other thing that you can do is go to our forum, the Witches Gathering, which is free for everybody. Or you also, I don't know if you're still subscribed, but you can also go to the forums that you're a member of on the website and just post the question to see what comes up. Because I know that we have some people who are who practice more of Norse witchcraft than others. So you can, those are some options for you. The art teacher says the cauldron is my thing too. The Mysteries of the Dark Moon by Demetra George has a chapter on Nyx. Oh, beautiful. Thank you for that, Priestess of Wonderland. Beautiful. That's a good book in general. Mysteries of the Dark Moon. Modeled. Yes, thank you. It sounds like I'm saying modeled, like with a D instead of a T. Is that my English as a second language thing? Modeled? Anyway, thank you for knowing. Thank you for seeing me. Okay. Troy Books has the Canticles of Lilith, which I have loved so far. Beautiful. Not completed it yet. Leela says, I will have to do some research then. Thank you. Yes. And Emily says, look on YouTube as well. Esoterica has a PhD and recently did a good video on Lilith. Oh, wonderful. Yes, you said that. Maybe has more for other deities. Beautiful. Cool beans. I love cool beans. I haven't heard cool beans in a long time. All right, my loves. We are coming to, am I like not? My poor camera. I'm not. Oh my God. Hold on. I am not in focus. What is going on? It's like reverse focus. I mean, it's a hot mess. Well, there you go. That's what happens when I've been gone for so long. Something is flashing. Did I touch something and I wasn't supposed to? I may have. Camera's tired. She's done. She's like, enough. You like boiled me with the heater. It was really high and I'm still cold. All right. That's it. I love you all. Thank you for hanging out. I will not, I know, go stand by the books. Camera's focused on books. I mean, maybe that the camera knows we're talking about books. Now you can see all the books. The next live I'm going to do is at the end of December. But I will be available and live for Ritual in the middle of December for our Moon Ritual Coven. And oh, hi. This Saturday, this is only applicable to those of you who wow, I'm really I don't know what. This is only applicable to those of you who took the Invoke Yourself Holy Witch 3-day immersion that we did. We've done it twice. This applies to both groups. Today is the last day to sign up for this Saturday's ritual day. So the information for that is in the forum, and the information for that is in the email that I sent to you all yesterday. There's a ritual day going on so that we can get together and do more work around invoking yourself and around specifically the healer archetype. And that's on Saturday. So today's the last day to register for that. If you were part of the Invoke Yourself immersions that already occurred, you have to have had that first before you can do this. So there's that announcement, and I think that that's it. Thank you for putting up with the whole weirdness, and I will talk to you hopefully soon. Yeah, like that. Keep reading. Post to the forum to let us know how you're doing with the books and what you're loving about them. And that's it. That's all I've got. Forum is this applies for you. Beautiful. Yes. Wonderful. Blissful abundance to each and all. Thank you, Jolmar. All right. Be good to yourselves and enjoy the reading.